And now, the starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls. And from North Carolina, 6'6" guard, number 23, Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan was the most famous person in the world.
B.J. Armstrong is on the floor for the Bulls, along with Michael Jordan. So he inbounds a cart right to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for three. Yeah! 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 Yes! 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 A winner! Unbelievable!
The Chicago Bulls of the 1990s.
Harper penetrated.
It was really something to see.
Tony Kukoc. Oh, there it is. 5 to go. Back door to Scottie Pippen for the jam.
That decade was insane.
It looked like he headbutted him.
Were a worldwide phenomenon.
It was like covering, pop stars.
The kick to Kerr.
A cultural touchstone.
The modern equivalent of the Beatles.
Horace Grant to Scottie Pippen.
And the highest rated show
Pippen beats Weddington.
on WGN at the time.
Tony. Oh, that open, wide open, down the lane. Wow.
You want to talk about must-see TV,
Jordan driving.
appointment television.
Oh.
You just had to watch WGN to see Michael and the Bulls.
Here's Michael. Oh, he got beat. Whoa! Michael going to work.
It was the pinnacle of a partnership between the Bulls and WGN that spanned over parts of 6 decades.
Friday night at 8:30, pull up a courtside seat as the Chicago Bulls travel west to meet the Phoenix Suns in an NBA showdown.
WGN and the Bulls had sort of an on-again, off-again relationship. They started on WGN in their expansion season, back and forth.
Let's go courtside now to Johnny Kerr. He's got the Bulls' leading scorer, guard Reggie Theus. John?
Okay, Bob, you hit it on the head. Reggie Theus is leading the team in scoring this year.
The team came back to WGN just in time for the 1989 season.
We wanted to differentiate ourselves. We didn't want to just be the same old mold. We weren't afraid to try something different.
For the third time this season, you've got a front row seat on WGN. Come on inside the United Center. I'm Dan Roan. It's nice to have you along tonight for the Bullseye. We'll get you.
Like clockwork, retired WGN sports anchor Dan Roan would host the Bullseye pregame show from this perch at the United Center.
The northeast corner, shooting back down toward the court, really looked good, and I think they took advantage of everything they could to make it look like a WGN broadcast, and I think by and large they succeeded in that.
There was something different about a WGN broadcast. It had more character than the NBA's neutral national network, NBC.
Bulls' Luke Longley, a second strong effort off the injured list, just 1 point shy of career high.
It also had more of a big game feel than a regional cable network's coverage.
Now it's on to Miami for the second half of a back-to-back.
There was a vibe to those broadcasts that other networks just didn't have. With WGN, we had the reach of a network, but we were a hometown station.
Jordan elevates near the foul line. 27 for Michael. The Bulls back in front by 1.
The games themselves had the same DNA as WGN's beloved Cubs telecasts.
Play 3. Ready? 1? Okay. 1. And a baby.
The director was Arnie Harris, who became a household name as the maestro who directed Cubs broadcasts.
Baseball to me is almost like doing a symphony.
For almost 40 years.
I think it kind of carried over from the way he did the Cubs. I think everything was, similar in that regard, his production style.
It was a style that prioritized the fan experience. He wanted viewers at home to feel like they were sitting in the stands.
Do the ball game, but let's have a little more fun if we can. We have a high camera that's over home plate that when the shadows hit at a certain time, you can see the shadow of the ball player swinging the bat. And I'll say something to Harry like, well, Sammy Sosa gets a hit, only the shadow knows, and I'll shoot the shadow.
The 0-1. Swung at Belton. There it goes. Number 61, move on reverse.
Channel 9 promoted the Bulls with memorable original theme songs, Get On Up With Those Bulls, and the Chicago Bulls Boogie.
Chicago Bulls Boogie, it hits the spot. The Bulls, the boogie.
Meantime, WGN's stamp was all over the coverage with puns and double entendres. Just like the leadoff man on its baseball telecasts, WGN's Bullseye was a pregame program with personality, always on target.
Get a play on words and have it mean something, wink, wink, nod, nod.
Good evening and welcome to the Bullseye. I'm Dan Roan with Channel 9's pregame coverage of Chicago Bulls basketball tonight.
Your future and that of Michael Jordan, are they tied together?
Similarly, instead of just calling Phil Jackson's program the generic Coaches Show,
Is this on? Yeah.
it was named No Bull with Phil Jackson.
I think Phil is the guy that came up with that name himself, so we'll give him some credit on that one.
WGN also had a familiar roster of broadcasters.
Another strength of WGN right there, the fact that you see the same people all the time. And
Hi, everybody. I'm Wayne Larrabee. Welcome to Bulls basketball on WGN. This should be a lot of fun here tonight. These two
Dan Roan, Rich King, Wayne Larrabee, and Johnny Red Kerr were there season after season.
The Bulls and the Philadelphia 76ers tonight on WGN. Talked to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen about the game, and they know exactly why Larry Bird has been so...
Which meant the broadcast team developed a sense of trust with the players and coaches.
Happy birthday, my man.
Who ended up being more candid and open with Channel 9 than with other outlets.
In the interim, you want to hang out and with a microphone do a little analyst work?
No, thanks. The Bulls kept that core together. We kept our core together. And so, you went through a lot together, and they would see you at the NBA Finals in Utah and also a January game in Toronto, right? So those relationships built for a long time, and we and our viewers were the beneficiaries of those great times.
when you have a partnership in broadcast like we did with the Bulls, and they trust you a little bit more. They know you're not going to be trying to tear anybody down. I mean, you're going to be honest, you're going to be straightforward and tell what you see, but you're not going to go out of your way to rip somebody.
The following is a presentation of WGN Television Sports.
Tonight, the Bulls are on the road opening a 6-game trip in Houston, next on Channel 9.
Jim Tianis,
I was a cameraman,
was part of WGN's 20-person production crew for the entire run on WGN.
Everyone has a responsibility in a broadcast. There's cameramen, there's replay operators, there's a producer, there's a director, and together we all make the show.
Can we get prompter to 4, please?
Joe Pausbach worked as a technical director and camera operator. He says he viewed his role as a responsibility.
If I don't see it and my fellow camera people don't see it, nobody at home sees it.
Bulls are leading by 9. Jordan goes baseline.
By 1991, Michael Jordan was in his prime, and the Bulls began their march to the first of 2 three-peats. Jordan's popularity was so vast, he was as recognizable around the world as the President, the Pope, and the Princess.
My heart's beating 240. It was great. That was the closest I'll probably ever be to Michael Jordan. It was exciting.
Throngs of fans and media were around every corner.
And we got in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and there were,
at every hour,
400 people standing out front of the hotel to watch him get off the bus at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We might be able to get some golf swings in.
WGN's status as a superstation, seen on cable and satellite around the country and beyond, only added to the Bulls' soaring popularity.
The chance to watch Jordan and watch this team that's winning all the championships on cable TV anywhere in the country, and half of North America, really.
Jordan one-on-one with Miller. Michael with the turnaround off the glass.
It was pretty spectacular.
Chicago Stadium is sold out tonight for this key matchup in the NBA Central. The Bulls hosting the Milwaukee Bucks. And good evening, everyone.
In the early 1990s, WGN's telecasts were available to 33 million households across the country.
Bulls come ahead to Pippen. Scottie in for the left, lays it in and draws the foul on Edwards.
The ratings showed viewers in other cities were watching the Bulls on WGN instead of the telecasts of their own hometown teams.
Michael goes again. Jordan.
Yes! Oh, yes!
While the Bulls and WGN saw a smashing success, the other NBA owners saw a single team and its broadcast partner taking viewers and money away from everyone else.
This is a very clear memory for me. NBA Commissioner David Stern came up to me and we were talking, and he goes, WGN is my favorite local station. and my least favorite cable station.
The NBA attempted to limit the number of games that could be shown nationally on a superstation. WGN and the Bulls took the league to court. In court documents, the NBA argued that by broadcasting the Bulls nationwide, WGN was engaged in a, quote, attempt to steal NBA national television revenues.
It's not often that you have an owner in Jerry Reinsdorf who's partnering with the TV station against the league.
David Stern, thank you for stopping to talk to us. Good to be here.
The NBA and David Stern, but that's exactly what happened in the lawsuit.
The lawsuit ended up in federal court.
And the judge found that the whole purpose was to eliminate competition. And he said that the important thing here are the fans, the consumers, and that they're benefited by having Bulls games on WGN.
The 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the Bulls and WGN, saying the NBA's attempt to impose limits was a, quote, illegal restraint on trade. WGN's right had been established, and Bulls games on the Superstation showcase continued.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And it was finally worked out that 25 games a year were allowed to still be shown on the Superstation. Now, at the time, I think we were doing 35 or 40, so not all of them were on, but we had to go to court to get that right, and it was worth it, and I'm sure the fans around the country loved it.
Watch the Bulls on WGN. You damn commercials.
During the dynasty, WGN produced the pool coverage of what became one of Chicago's favorite summertime events.
From North Carolina, at guard 6'6", he's our MVP, Michael Jordan.
The Bulls Championship Rally.
Because we do so many remote events, every time a team wins a championship, WGN runs the pool, and we broadcast the rally and the parade.
They say this is a family show, right? Well, I'm gonna change this.
You're watching the 1998 Chicago Bulls celebration. Sensational.
For all 6 of the Grant Park rallies, I was the pool feed on stage. So any shot you see of Michael or anyone walking out with a trophy is my stage shot. It was incredible fun.
Through it all, the WGN crew was as much of a team as the one they covered.
We were acquaintances who were good at our job, and by the end of, through the 90s and by the end of the 90s, we were good friends who were great at our jobs.
To all the fans in the city of Chicago, I said then when I got here in this city that we would be champions by the time I leave. Well, we're a 5-time champion going for 6. If we never win another one, we're certainly going to win the 6th one.
Wow. Yeah, makes you miss those days, doesn't it?
Right.
And we don't even have Joe Paws back here running the jib for us to tease him being on camera.
So many
tonight.
of the floor crew were there in that video.
Awesome.
All right, very good to see. Next week here on WGN at 75, Dean Richards will look back at WGN's unparalleled commitment to local children's programming, from Fraser Thomas to Ray Rayner to Bozo the Clown. Dean remembers what made Channel 9 a family-friendly TV station for decades.
We're going to watch that one. Hope you will. We have special live coverage every Thursday night through April on the News at 9. You can read more at WGNTV.com/75 as well.